Man, Kwab, the Thunder took a haymaker, an absolute haymaker. Got hit, got back up, jab and jab their way to victory, baby.
Yeah, it's was it Mike Tyson knockout? What's the
Listen, that was one of the best games I've ever seen from an individual in my life, Nikola Jokic, and the Thunder still pulled off the victory. Let's get to the box score first, though, Kwab. The Thunder beat the Nuggets 112 to 105. SGA with 31, 7, and 6. Jalen Williams with the game-winning 3, 18 and 9. Chet had 14 and 8. And for the Nuggets, Jokic 44, 15 and 5. No biggie. Jamal Murray 28 points. Aaron Gordon 13 points, and nobody else on the Denver Nuggets did
none?
anything worth talking about. It was
Nobody.
literally like 2 on 5, 3 on 5 the whole game. Everybody else was just horrible offensively. Shout out to the Oklahoma City defense. I mean, that's pretty much the game plan. It's kind of like double Jokic, get the ball out of his hands early as possible, and make other people beat you. And other people couldn't beat today. And the best version of Nikola Jokic couldn't beat you either.
Yeah.
Definitely want to get into that, but also got to give props to the OKC Thunder. Got to give props to SGA. Because if I'm going to be honest with you, his first stint in the second quarter was some of the worst decision-making I've seen from a point guard of his caliber since probably Game 2 Pistons series, Jalen Brunson, when Jalen Brunson was just going – I don't even want to talk about that.
Was just frustrating you. Yep.
Yeah, and it comes down to this, too. I think a reason why the OKC Thunder won this game, first of all, shout out Lou Dort, who hit 3 huge three-pointers in the fourth. And then SGA just started making the right decisions. I know that sounds like a bit reductive, but it's true. I mean, SGA, during this whole series, a matter of fact, for the most part, this Oklahoma City offense gets into trouble when SGA tries to split the zone or take the zone on by himself, dribble, pull up, mid-range jumper. Sometimes it goes in, sometimes it doesn't. But that's when they get into trouble. It gets stagnant. He hasn't really been hitting those shots. Sometimes he tries to get to the rim. He doesn't hit those shots. And he did a lot of that in the second quarter. But in the fourth quarter, it flipped. What happened was Lou Dort hit 2 threes. Then SGA comes down in the half-court set. He takes a fadeaway jumper from the corner with 2 people on him, and he misses.
Yep.
Next possession, Dort misses a 3. And in my head, it was like, well, he should have got the 3 in the other possession because he just hit 2 in a row. Luckily, they come back. Dort hits another 3, and then from that point on, I think SGA played a flawless game, making the right decisions when he was doubled, making the right pass at the right time, trusting his teammates. And this is what happens. Jalen Williams gets an open 3 for the game winner. Lou Dort gets going. Like, it's just, to me, SGA grew. It seemed like almost like he watched it in real time. Like, it kind of just clicked for him. Like, I got to trust my teammates here. So even though I think there's critiques to throw at him as far as like his decision making in the half court, if you're going to do that, you also got to applaud him for his decision making in the fourth quarter and for being able to make the adjustments that OKC needed in the half court. Because that was just the whole thing. If they could figure out that Denver zone, which I don't think takes much figuring out because I don't think they do anything special. It's just kind of like being patient, moving the basketball around like they did at the end of Game 4 and like they did in Game 5, fourth quarter. You should be able to beat this Nuggets team. I mean, we saw what Jokic did today, and they still won.
Yeah, and then we're gonna obviously touch on the Jokic amazing game, but SGA trust in the pass in the fourth quarter was the difference in this game, and but they definitely lost some of the early games because SGA was kind of going for that home run play instead of like trusting his teammates and trusting the pass. The one play that led to the Jalen Williams getting the 3 was because the Nuggets showed to like they've been showing a double every time SGA gets deep in the paint, and he kicked it out. It was a swing, and Jalen Williams had an open 3. Like that's good basketball. Even when the other play when he drove and he was able to get the alley-oop to Isaiah Hartenstein.
Yep.
Yeah, instead of like pulling up for the midi. Like these, it might be like it might seem like a simple breakdown, but for a player of his caliber, and he has the ball, he's going to have the ball in his hands in the fourth quarter. Him making a right play, even if it's just a hockey assist, can lead to a victory. And it felt like you said, the switch up, especially in the fourth, after that tough shot he took, he ended up making the right play every time. And it created a separation. Also, when we always talk about the Thunder, they just having as many weapons as they have, you, getting what 4 3-pointers from Lou makes a difference. Caruso has been playing amazing.
He's one of the best role players in the league.
Like
If we had a dime I fucks with you second team, he probably would have been on it. Honestly,
yeah,
he should have been first team.
he should have been first team.
Yeah.
First team. Look,
But he was too popular of a pick. He was too popular.
yeah.
Everyone fucks with Caruso.
Our playoff fuck with you for first team is going to be completely different than our regular season.
Yeah,
Fuck with
yeah,
you
for
first
sure.
team. But Caruso throughout the course of this series has not only has he had a big impact defensively, just offensively also. Like if you're getting Caruso hitting 3-pointers, like that's a plus. That's a big plus. And I thought that also Chet had a really good game.
I do too. Yeah.
Not necessarily offensively, but just being there defensively, just to contest a lot of shots, deter some of the drives. All played a big factor, and this was felt like a really good team win. Even though Shai had 31, it felt like a really good another all around good team win for the Thunder. On the Nuggets side, it's getting like, I don't know how you just describe what Jokic is at this point, because some of the stuff he does, you're just like, yo, what? And it's just become like we talk about it like it's normal. It's not. What he's doing is not normal.
Yeah.
It's not. And I don't know who's to blame, but the fact that he's basically, when we talk about players in the past, like, yo, he needs more help. He needed more help this game. Just
Yeah.
he needed more help, bro. Like
Yeah,
it
honestly,
sucks.
I think they have enough help on the Denver Nuggets. I think they need like maybe one more bench piece, but for the most part, like MPJ's a shooter. He's hurt. You know, he was awful today, and he missed the biggest shot of the game, in my opinion. Jokic kicking it out to MPJ for the biggest shot of the game, to tie when they were down 3. You know, he hasn't hit a 3 in 13 attempts, and you're passing him the basketball to tie the game, which is a lot of trust in your teammates, but still not good. Christian Brown had 2 threes, but I still don't think he shot the ball well. Russ was awful offensively today.
Yeah.
I think he gave him good minutes defensively when he first got in, but then offensively, I mean, it was just, you got the bad Russ today for the most part.
Yeah.
And Aaron Gordon, was doing Aaron Gordon things, but he wasn't like playing over his head. Jamal had a great game. Jokic had a great game. And at the end, it was just kind of like, all right, we're going to run this 2-man game with Jamal and Jokic and just see what happens.
Which is like, it's your bread and butter though, but
Yeah.
it's your bread and butter. But it wasn't enough.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
And credit to OKC's defense too.
Yeah.
I mean, even though, like, again, the plan seems to be make other people beat you, and by other people, it's like the MPJs and Christian Browns of the world. But even when those guys weren't touching the ball, they were making it very hard on Jokic and Murray to even run a 2-man game on the perimeter. Like, everything that they got, they earned. I mean,
Yeah.
Jokic he was hitting threes today, but those threes were contested. It wasn't like, especially the last one. The last one, that was
Contested is the word.
contested doesn't describe the word of the last one. I mean, it just if you can survive a superhuman game from Nikola Jokic like you just did today from OKC, it's a great sign. They weren't able to do it in game one. Game one, I mean, a lot of that had to do with just them collapsing and late game decisions from Mark. But this game, man, it's just a solid come from behind victory. And like you said, team victory, right? Dort starts it, Jalen finishes it, SGA throughout the whole fourth quarter making the right decisions. And when I say right decisions too, I don't mean just passing the ball. There was a little bit of a break there where he recognized, I got the defense isn't set. I got Christian Brown on his heels, spin move, layup. Like it also includes you scoring the basketball. It's just knowing when to score the basketball. And when SGA has that going for him, I think, this OKC offense is like not unstoppable, but it's good enough, and we say this all the time. It's good enough because the defensive prowess of this team makes it so that the offensive ceiling doesn't have to be as high as others.
Yes.
The Nuggets are the exact opposite. They need their offense to be clicking like hell because their defense isn't as good as everybody else's in the playoffs, even though they have been playing better with this zone that they just keep playing. But that zone is not too hard to figure out. They're not doing anything complicated. They're playing their asses off, but they're not like doing anything complicated with the zone. You just got to make the right plays. You got to be patient. You got to be patient.
Yeah, and
I think
the Thunder
SGA just did a fantastic job at the end.
I was gonna say, and when the Thunder are patient, they can get whatever they want.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're not, which is always like frustrating. And sometimes, like we said, like you said, SGA's making the right decision could be taking the shot when it's there. Like when he came off the it was they were trying to get the mismatch onto Jokic. They kept setting screens, and then Jokic wasn't a drop, and he pulled up for the three. That's the right decision
Yeah,
because it was a wide open, it wasn't forced, and he knocked it down. Those like little things, they make a difference, and you're gonna make a difference with this team moving forward. And like I said, their defensive caliber has just been top notch all season, and you see throughout the course of like a couple of these games where they're down, you can see they still trust your defense enough that they know they'll get back in the game, so you're
yeah,
not that worried. So that always factors into it. Do you think Denver wins the next game?
I do.
You do?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean, I had the Thunder in 7.
you did.
Yeah,
I think I had them in
think going back
6.
to Denver,
So.
there's a home court advantage there. They play better in Denver. I think there is something to the altitude. I think they're going to want to get out and run more. I think your role players like Christian Brown plays better. I think you probably get a good Russ game. I don't think MPJ misses every shot he freaking takes.
Yeah.
You know, I think they should have won Game 4 the way that it ended. I mean, they had that game wrapped up and they kind of blew it there. That's 2 fourth quarters in a row where OKC just kind of thoroughly outplayed Denver, which is surprising because going into the series, right, it's the whole narrative like, oh, inexperienced, blah, 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 blah. Well, the
Yeah.
team that's a little more inexperienced has beaten a team that has won the championship before in 2 straight fourth quarters. You know, Denver might have got them in Game 1, but lately the OKC is looking like the more composed team. But I do think Denver wins in Denver. I think this comes back to OKC for a Game 7. What do you think?
What time is the game?
I don't know. Valid question.
Let's not have a freaking noon game for a
Valid
West Coast.
question.
Yeah. What time is it? I think the Thunder close it out.
Okay.
Reason why I say that, I had the Thunder in 6, I believe, or
Yeah, you
maybe
did.
I did, right? So maybe I can't be right about one prediction this playoffs, but I think the problem is that even at home, right? And we talk about Denver's going to be able to run more and all that. They don't go that deep into your bench.
No. I mean, Strother's been playing, and he gave him a decent minutes today.
Yeah, like, but they put on. I think. Let me check the. I just want to make 10 minutes.
Yeah.
He hit a 3. Payne Watson plays, but like they're basically leaving him open and telling him to shoot, and he hasn't hit. Like, and Russ is gonna Russ. Like, you're gonna either have a great game or a bad game. I just think that even though they have players, the team has felt limited throughout the course of the series, and there's been games where Jokic has looked tired because he's had to do so much and his shot hasn't been falling. A lot of people are attributing that to the what he had to go through in the Clippers series, saying that he basically ended up putting so much effort in the Clippers series. That's why he's kind of been struggling this series.
Yeah.
But for them to get a 44-point game from Jokic and it still wasn't enough, to me that's like, I mean, that's but to your point, you're probably going to get a good Aaron Gordon game. Michael Porter's going to hit some shots, even though he is playing with one shoulder. Like, credit to him, he shouldn't be playing. He should be getting surgery right now.
Yeah.
So
Christian Brown, I think, should be better.
Yeah, Christian Brown got to hit more. I think let me check. I want to.
He was 2 for
check
8,
the
I
box
think.
score.
He had 2 threes.
Yeah, 2 for 8, 3 for 12 overall, which
Yeah.
is like he's better than that. But I feel like if the Thunder, in your mind, you're going out to close this game.
Yeah.
And I feel like they'll come out with the right approach to close this game. They compare, like, you look at the differences between these two teams that you made, like the Thunder being such a good defensive team, so they can have an off shooting game. Nuggets don't have that. The Thunder being so deep that you don't know who's going to come off the bench and give them like double figure scoring. Nuggets
I mean,
don't have
Wiggins and
that.
Payson Wallace helped them win Game 4. I mean,
Yeah, like
it
that's
wasn't J-Dub. I mean, he was off. Yeah.
And then on top of that too, the other Jalen Williams has been doing a pretty
He did a great
decent
job
job
today
on
in the fourth
yeah.
quarter.
He's been doing a pretty decent job on Jokic too. I mean, I don't know what a decent job on Jokic looks like because he's still gonna do work, but
Yeah.
he was able to make an impact this game. So I just feel like the Thunder have way more. So even if this game ends up in like a track meet, they still have the advantage. So I feel like the Thunder should be able to close out this game, the next game. Sorry.
All right, there you have it. The Thunder take a 3-2 lead in the series, defeating the Denver Nuggets 112-105. What a game. What a series.
What a game.
What a series. If you want to follow Dime Cam everywhere at the Dime NBA, I'm Josh Rodriguez at Josh_Rodriguez_. He's Kwab at Kwab AKS. Tomorrow the Knicks play the Celtics. I might be at the Garden for a watch party, so I don't know if we're going to redo that afterwards. But also T-Wolves Warriors for that. The T-Wolves have a chance to go to the Western Conference Finals. So stay tuned for that. We also, right now, can't make any I don't want to proclaim it, but we have a special guest for our conference finals preview once these series are over, so look out for that. It'll be a full episode, and hope you enjoy it. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow for more game recaps. Peace.